Hey everyone, welcome back to Southern Bayou Adventures. Today we're going to talk about watermelons. Now, I was in the grocery store and I was walking around and I was looking at watermelons and I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to go back there to the produce section and I'm going to get me a watermelon, some of that pre-packaged watermelon that's, in those things back there. You know what I'm talking about. It's already cut up for you and chunked out. And I looked at the price on those, and they were $16 for a thing of watermelon like this. And I thought, wow, Jay, we ain't paying those prices. So I went around there, and they had these whole watermelons over there for $4. And I thought to myself, why in the world would anybody want to buy chunked up watermelon already prepackaged like that instead of buying this? And then I thought, well, Jay, maybe they don't know how to cut up a watermelon. So I'm going to show you how to cut up a watermelon today. I'm going to show you how to pick a watermelon so that maybe you get one that's good. Because when you go over there to that watermelon stack, they all piled up. And they all look the same. You don't know which one to get. Well, I'm going to tell you how to do it. So they have these watermelons all piled up. Now, what I do is I try to find me a watermelon in there that's got a yellow patch on the bottom. When you have a yellow patch on the bottom, that means it's been sitting in the field and it's all ripe and ready to go. So this is going to be a good watermelon here because it's got a yellow patch on the bottom. Always get you one with a yellow patch. And then you want to look at the webbing and everything and make sure the color's right and all that. They got charts on the internet that you can look up, and I may even put a chart in the comment of how to pick out a watermelon. That way y'all can go, when y'all go down there to comment, y'all can look at that chart in the comment section and it'll show you how to pick one out. But I'm going to show you how to cut one up right now. So the first thing I do is you want to get you a big enough knife, a butcher knife, whatever you have in your kitchen, because you want to have it long enough and big enough. So what I do, the first thing I do is I come across the bottom here and I just cut me a little piece off the bottom of this watermelon, about like that. And what that does is that's going to allow your watermelon to sit flat and not roll around on you. That way it's easier and safer to cut. So you see that? I just cut the bottom off of it just a little bit to where it's flat so it sits on your cutting board like that. And then I come in here and I'll cut the ends off. Just enough. You don't want to cut into the meat, the pink part. Just want to cut off the ends. And I'll spin her around. See there where I cut that end off square? And then I'll cut this end off right here. Same thing. See there? Cut it off. And then I'm going to cut it in half. Because when you cut it in half, it makes it a lot easier to work with than working with a big old watermelon. So I just come down here to the center and I just start cutting. And you just want to cut this thing right in half. Just like that. Woo! Look at that watermelon, boy. That looks good. That looks good. So I'm going to set this piece right here over to the side and we're going to work on this piece first. Okay? So then I turn it around like this, sideways like that. And then I'm going to cut it in half again. That right there. Now you cut it in half to start with. Cut the whole thing in half to start with. And then you take this half piece and you cut it in half again. That way that gives you an easy surface to work with. So then I flip that watermelon over on its bottom like that. And then what I do is I start cutting pieces out of it. And I want to cut about 1-inch slices out of everything. So I'm going to start right here. And I'll cut a 1-inch piece slice out of it. And then another 1-inch slice out of it. And you just keep doing this process until you get this watermelon all the way cut up. Like cut my finger off on that one. Wow. Just be careful when you cut watermelon because it'll get you. All right. So now that I got these pieces cut up, now in the grocery store, they sell these watermelons a couple ways. They sell it chunked out, and then they sell it in watermelon slices. So if you want some watermelon slices, then all you do once you cut these 1-inch chunks is come down here and cut it like that, right in half, like I did. And then there's your watermelon slices. And you can put those out on a plate for if you're having a barbecue or a cookout or something, or even if you want to put them in the refrigerator like this for when your kids get out of school, they can come home and have a nice little snack. The kids need to be eating fruit. So they could have a nice little snack, and it's good for them. You don't want them going in there and the first thing they grab is them potato chips, because that's not a good idea. But they do. They do. That's all they want is potato chips. So I like to have these snacks. Now I'm going to cut this watermelon up for them kids, take over there to their house, and I'm going to keep a little bit for me and my wife. So I'm not going to do chunks this time. I'm going to do all of it. I'm going to do chunks this time. I'm not going to do slices because everybody wants chunks this time. So once you get everything kind of cut up, then what I do is I just take the pieces like this, and I take my knife and I just run it right around that rind like that. And once you get this done, you just kind of cut that rind right off, and it comes off real easy. And then I'll go ahead and see if I can do 2 of them at one time. Yeah, that worked pretty good. And then I'll cut just one inch. You want to use 1 inch all the time. And then just use your 1 inch and 1 inch. And then I got me a bowl right here. And I just take these chunks, throw it down in that bowl. And a lot of people make watermelon salad and stuff like that. I mean, that's really good. I like watermelon salad. Kids, they just like it chunked up. That way they can pick it up and grab and go. And now keep in mind, this was 1 watermelon. Get me a couple pieces out here and see if I can go a little bit faster with this. Now, this is the part right here that's going to blow your mind. We have literally used only a quarter of this $4 watermelon. And it has made the equivalent of one of those large pre-cut watermelon chunks in the grocery store that they're selling for $15, $16. And this is the half of the watermelon. This is the other half of the watermelon. So we've only used 1/4 of a watermelon. And $4 watermelon, and we made as much watermelon here as you're paying $16 in the grocery store to get. So that's a money saver. You just saved your family a ton of money if you like watermelon. So next time you go to the grocery store, you need to go grab a whole watermelon and take 10 minutes to cut it up, because that's all this took, was to cut it up in 10 minutes. and you just saved a lot of money. Because if you bought this much watermelon, you would probably pay, I don't know, probably $30, $60, because we're going to get 4 of these out of one watermelon. So you'd have been spending $60 where all you have to spend is $4 and 10 minutes of your time. So I want y'all to think about that next time y'all go to the grocery store, and think about that in the fruit. If you buy that processed fruit that's already cut up, you paying for somebody to cut it up for you. And if you would just give up 10 minutes of your time and go in your kitchen and cut it up, you can put this in bags, you can put it in containers and everything, and you always will have fruit, fresh fruit, in your refrigerator at a very inexpensive price. So with that, I'm going to let y'all go and think about this and go down to my comments, because I'm going to have a chart there for how to pick out watermelons. So y'all watch me now and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Southern Bayou Adventures.